know what? I'm excited about this interview because we really want to talk about the Collegium. We want to talk about where it came from. We want to talk about, you know, the birth of it.
The birth of it.
Talk about from conception to birth.
There you go.
It's weird being on the other side. I'm like, oh man.
It's good though, because I mean, really, you needed this interview. So it's good that you're putting yourself out there.
This is true. This is true. Let me see. Let me open the chat, the Q&A. Oh, wait. Lynn Forlini, can I hear you at all? I don't know if we're supposed to hear Lynn Forlini popped in.
I can't hear the attendees unless you're on camera. Only the panelists can speak. You can type in the chat.
So, how did the Collegium come about?
Right.
So, honestly, it started because I'm greedy. I'm a voracious learner. I want to learn as much as possible, but what I discovered is when I went to maybe try to study different things, to want to learn maybe different routes, it seems as though it was only one focus. And as a solitary eclectic practitioner, I obviously do not do just one focus. And so I kept looking around where can I learn multiple things at once, and kind of dabble to see what I liked doing more than anything. You know, a lot of people invest a lot of money into studying something and then they realize, oh, that really wasn't for us. We didn't like that. So I didn't want to go about it that way. And so I discovered, okay, well, I can learn, I can study. I have a lot of people in my groups that I can study with, ask questions, get knowledge, but some people don't have that. So if I wanted to have something eclectic to learn from, it's something I would have to create myself. And so that's what the thought came, that's how I came up with the thought. It would have to be something that I created from, you know, myself, for other people who thought like me, for other people that perhaps didn't want to be in something so structured to one thought, or would be able to go and learn different things before they decided they wanted to choose one path, if they wanted to choose one path at all.
I think it's, oh my God, you know, Zoom with this growling sound. Do I sound like a demon on your part, on your end?
No.
Okay, because for a moment.
Just the baby.
Okay. Because for a moment I did. So I was like, ah. So this is what I love about it, because I think, like you said, there are a lot of people that are teaching like one practice or one tradition, and a lot of people are picking and choosing what they want out of it, but they're having to pay for the whole course. So I think the great thing with the Collegium, the way that you have it set up, is that literally you're paying this fee, but you're getting all of these classes and you're being introduced to a lot of different traditions, a lot of different practices. And you'd be amazed at things that you connect with that you didn't think you would connect with. Tell us a little bit about the people, the teachers, the areas that you are representing in your Collegium.
Oh, okay. So I grabbed a whole lot of people. No. So what I did was I observed. I, you know, through my walks and through my, you know, research, I discovered a lot of people did a lot of things for money. You can tell when someone's teaching something for just money, as opposed to people who are teaching it because they love it and that they live it. So I observed the people who are part of the Collegium: Lynna, you, Tonya, you, Sherwin, Frank Stormcatcher, Alyssa, myself, and of course, Marcus Remington. So I said, how can we get the most eclectic group of people to teach that actually love what they do, that don't just jump into it at the thought of money, but actually love and have a passion for what it is they do. So you were the first one I wrote, hey, I want to put together this idea. Do you want to be a part of it? It's going to be eclectic. There's nothing like it. And you were like, sure. So I know you're teaching voodoo, but also conjure work. Then we have Sherwin, who's teaching deities, possibly also conjure work. Frank Stormcatcher, who teaches, he's pretty much the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. He, in real life, that is one of his jobs. When people have things going on in their house, or they pull something from a Ouija board that, you know, they can't put back, they conjured up something they can't put back, Frank Stormcatcher is the person that you call, and he goes in and he clears out your house. He's done a few exorcisms, but he doesn't prefer to do those. But, you know, that's our Ghostbuster of Virginia, pretty much, is Frank Stormcatcher. We have Marcus Remington, who works with the celestial beings as well as demons, and he works with the left-hand path. And that's a very important thing, in my opinion, to know as well. Sherwin, I find extremely interesting because he also knows quite a few things, and he can pull from his arsenal of knowledge. Alyssa is amazing. She is a shaman. She is a holistic doctor, a naturopathic witch, pretty much. But she will be teaching mindfulness, chakras, how to manifest and, you know, change your mindset and living in the present, because that's a very important part of the path as well. No matter which path you work in, it's a very important part to be in the present, but also to be patient and claim it ahead of time. You know, coming from all these different places, but also being balanced when it comes to magic. Lynna teaching Tarot de Marseille, which is interesting because a lot of people don't know there's a lot of different tarots. They only hear the Rider-Waite tarot, and that's what everyone goes with. But the Tarot de Marseille is different, and how you go about reading it is different. So I think this will be interesting for people who perhaps don't connect with Rider-Waite. They can connect with a different deck and get that knowledge and move forward with that. And I think that's exciting. Did I miss someone?
You.
Oh yeah, and me.
Like you said someone.
I missed one. I will be teaching traditional witchcraft and spell crafting. So I'll be teaching the candle magics, different protections, the simple spells, you know, things that people don't think about. And the thing I like about, for me, traditional witchcraft is you can have it going on every day and no one's going to question it. That's what I think is wonderful for me about traditional witchcraft. It could be something as simple that you didn't even know was witchcraft, like hanging a horseshoe on your doorknob. What did you hang that up there for? Porcupine scales above your door for protection so people don't walk in when, you know, you don't need them to walk in. Just simple things, bay leaf burning, candle. I mean, so many different aspects to traditional witchcraft that I love, that I think would be helpful. A lot of people are scared that if they step onto the path of voodoo, witchcraft, that everybody's going to feel like it's an oogie boogie thing. Like you have to be dark and then your skin's going to turn green and you're going to get warts out of nowhere. And then when you finally really do meet a witch, you're like, oh, you're not what I thought you were. That's not how you guys look. That's not how you guys dress, this whole stereotype of it. That I think this venture, this school could also break. And I think that this idea that people have of it being something negative or something scary or something quote unquote demonic can be broken, because we're living in a world of stereotypes and a world where they're like, oh, we can move things with our mind because Sabrina Teenage Witch did it. Like, that's not really the cool part of witchcraft, and that's not the purpose of it or any like spiritual practice. So, you know, helping with that will be nice too.
I think it's great that you're given a very realistic view of practices, because I think, like, you're right, people kind of get caught up on the Hollywood version and the darker aspects of practicing. And a lot of people don't, regardless of what you practice, there's always ancestor foundation, which means that you connect with your blood first. And I like the idea that everybody that you have with the Collegium is connected to their ancestry with teaching. So it kind of, it gives a really solid foundation for the teachers, for the professors that are going to be offering class. I saw on the page that we kind of had a couple of trolls, and people were like, oh, some of these people don't have years of experience, you know, they're not, you know, 30, 40 years in. But you realize that a lot of times you can be taught the wrong way for 10, 15 years, or literally you can understand and be taught properly and have the same amount of knowledge or more than somebody that has the big name. Because there's a lot of people out there that have the big names, but like you say, they could be teaching for the wrong reason. And I don't want to put anybody down, but I think when it comes to Shishi and her integrity and the way that she does things and the way that she sets things up, if you've ever dealt with her, had readings from her, been on her lives, she's very structured in the way that she puts things together, which makes you feel almost comfortable, like you can trust. And this is not the first time that you taught, because prior to this, you had another program where you were teaching through that. So tell us about, like, how do you connect that with what you're about to be teaching now? Because I know you were teaching meditation, you were teaching basics, foundation, and then
I was teaching manifestation from start to finish. And the reason I did it from start to finish is, like for me, like how I tie that into witchcraft. A lot of people are under the mindset that manifestation is just thinking positively. Like you're going to will it into existence and that's it. But there's steps to manifestation. There's steps to getting yourself aligned so that when things come in, you're ready for it. Or you can just step in that spot, especially mentally, especially energetic wise. You could be asking for something and let's say you get it, but if your energy is wrong or you're not aligned, then you mess up what was just brought into your life because you weren't prepared for it.
True.
So my first teaching that I did was a 6-month program, and I taught manifestation from beginning to end, and it started with clearing out your house. And a lot of people are like, what do you mean we had to clean our house? You had to clean your house. You had to get out things that, tied you and had you holding on to stuff, energetically wise, that no longer served you. And a lot of people don't think about their house, but if you walk into a house and it's crazy, there's dishes stacked up in the sink, things crawling across the floor because, nobody bothered to sweep the floor or mop the floor, then where does that put you mentally? That is, your home is a sign of your mental space.
Oh, 100%.
And I know it's tough. Like sometimes, we're all running in and out of life. Like for a while, my life was drop and go. Like I was home dropping, then off to the next thing. But your house is a mental sign, is a sign of where you are mentally. So a lot of what I was teaching in that class was clearing out things so that when you did manifest, there was a spot for it. And people just didn't realize that. Now, how I applied that to witchcraft and what I was flowing into, well, you do witchcraft to grow, to connect spiritually, but to also bring in your best life. But you can't bring in your best life if you can't manifest at your highest ability.
Oh,
so
my God.
You're just kind of running in a circle.
It's true.
It is. A lot of people will do spells and it's only done at like 30 to 50% because the rest of it is off. And
Lynna,
so,
I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think we've had this talk before, because Lynna's been at my house and sometimes I have a bunch of shit that's just cluttered in there. And whenever I do that, it's either because I'm exhausted or I'm depressed, and it literally, I can't think straight. Like right now, I want to go home and like throw the whole house away and start over. Because
I'm sitting here thinking that, okay, so according to my house, I'm probably mentally fucked right now.
But she's right. She's right. She's right in the talk. She's right, because if your foundation isn't clear and it's cluttered, and it literally is like your mind. So Shishi, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it was just like it hit on so many points, because I'm like, yes, that's what I feel.
I feel you. I feel that way now because I'm like, I have to pack up a house. And I'm like, and my things are, and I was like, this is very difficult, And so like people are like, we want you to do spell work. I'm like, I can't do spell work right now because my house is, and I can't focus on it because I have things to get out and things to, clear away. But
go ahead. I was just telling Tonya earlier today, and it sounds so bad. I was like, I was really kind of hoping it was going to rain a whole lot. And she's like, why? And I said, because if it floods, I could throw all this shit out of my house and the trash man can just take it away.
Like, I don't want it. And it's difficult. It's difficult. I have learned, like, for instance, I have quirky cabinets in my house. I have cabinets that probably didn't cost me more than $50 each. But I love these cabinets, and they're quirky. They each have a history. So there's, like, this is part of the reason why my house, like, if you guys were able to, it looks like a little witch's cottage in my home. It's a mess right now. But I have all these little quirky things in there from people whose family members have made these cabinets, or you know, things that you really can't find anymore. And I was like, I want to take these cabinets with me because they have so much, and you know, all this little wonderful energy with it. And then I'm like, I can't take them because like it's $3,000 to ship all my stuff if I take the cabinets with me. And so it was like a heartbreak. And so it's like right now I'm going through this thing where I'm looking at the cabinets. I was like, maybe we could just float together. But in reality, there might be someone else that needs this cabinet.
Or in reality, we can start a witchy Go fund and take your cabinets with you.
I know we could do that too. I was like,
I think we could do that. I think we could probably do that.
Well, it's expensive to ship it, unfortunately. We were looking at everything and like we're like, oh. And of course Oliver is very logical. So he's like, you have to be smart with it. I'm like, he's like, we can get cabinets over here too. I was like, but I don't want them. Right? Like I was having a full like temper tantrum. I don't want them.
I can imagine. I would be
like it's a lot of fun, but unfortunately, you know, at least I get to take my witchy items. I'm taking every witchy item I have. So he's like, take the witchy items, take all the herbs. But these cabinets were holding all my herbs, so I think that's the thing. I don't think he's prepared for the amount of herbs and amount of witchy items that I have.
Well, I mean, when you marry a witch, yeah. Welcome to the real world. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off, babe.
But I discovered, like, in wanting to hold on to those things, I was like, this is kind of in a way preventing me from being able to move forward freely, because the fun part about manifestation and creating is to have the space to bring in something that perhaps you didn't know was going to be brought in. So that, you know, looking at it from that aspect, trying to see the positive that we can make new in a new space. And I mean, saying it's going to be a brand new space anyway, maybe new energy would be a good thing. So
it definitely has its positives, because like you say, you're really starting over, and I think there's so many possibilities. You're going to old country, which means that there's going to be new cabinets, new things that you're going to find that are literally going to be probably beautiful. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you. Where do you see the Collegium going? Because we got you moving. We know you got all this stuff coming in, and we're going to try to start everything up, January, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so coming in quick. So where do you want us to go?
Honestly, where I want to go is just like it would be with any other school or university or any other learning facility. 4 years is the goal. And some people are like, 4 years is a long damn time. But the truth is, you can spend your whole lifetime learning everything as much as possible, and you will only touch an eighth of what these paths offer. And, you know, I want to kind of piggyback or like go back onto a comment that you said, you know, there are people, yes, they have 30, 40 years of maybe experience this life.
True.
But you don't know what's coming in, I mean, with people in different age groups. And I like to give that example of Sherwin. Sherwin, I call Mr. AARP. I call him so old, you know, because he's so old.
He's an old crabby man.
He's an old soul. I was like, you have to be like 8,000 years old. He's like, you know, you have to be.
He is.
But he brings so much knowledge, and you don't know the ancestors that are walking with, you know, each person. Because we see it with children when they're 7, they're like, oh yeah, in this past life and blah, blah, blah. And they're doing all these things. And you're like, it took someone else 2 years to learn that. But this little child came in and knew it. So just because someone isn't showing the number of days or years, the same years as someone else, does not mean that they're less experienced, so to say. Because in reality, you have people that have been doing it for 30, 40 years, and they still don't really know what they're talking about.
It's true. You know what I love about the Collegium and the people that you picked is that you literally picked people that are passionate about what they're teaching. Which means that if you take a class with Lynna, if none of you guys, and wait till you see the interview with Lynna, if you guys don't understand how much this woman loves cards, tarot cards,
loves them more than
the research that she puts into it, the amount of money that she feeds her addiction with, I mean, but it's passion. It's 100% love. And I think the same thing with Sherwin. When you go in, you open the Bible up, y'all seen him on the live. If y'all get him preaching, he will give us service. That's how passionate he is about what he comes through. Alyssa has certifications in every freaking thing. And it shows you don't invest that type of money unless you're passionate. So I feel like when you put together this group, you put together people that really weren't coming in lukewarm, like, oh, I could teach, or, you know, maybe I want to teach this or whatever. You're literally pick people who are going to put everything they have into their classes because that's everything to them.
Right.
So, I
mean, same as you. Like, when, you know, I've seen you teach people on your lives, you know, with information lamp classes, things like that. And I haven't been able to take the crowd class, but I have seen you teach, like, with your readings, or just like when talking to people via some of the videos you've done. And I'm like, she's passionate about what she does. She's honest about what she does.
Oh my God, yes, the voodoo. I love my spirits, and I think honestly, and I appreciate you giving us a platform to honestly be able to put ourselves out there and talk about things that we love and be able to share that with people. I don't think a lot of people understand, and some people that are looking at this, if you're really, really new coming into a practice, it can be very difficult sometimes to find mentors that you connect with that really are honest, genuine, and they're doing it for the right reasons. What Shishi did with the Collegium is she literally picked people that you don't have to second guess, and you'll have to meet us individually through these interviews, but when you see these interviews, you'll realize that we are passionate about what we do. We love it. We're excited about teaching it. And if anything that I'm hoping the Collegium will do is maybe break down wasted time, where you're taking 15 million classes, but you're not really connecting with the instructors, or you're not connecting with the teachers or the mentors. I think you guys are going to be pleasantly surprised with the people that she's brought together for this. We're all very different, but at this point we seem to work well.
We do. I think that's important.
Seem to really work well.
I think also, you know, the thing that I'm excited about with the Collegium is that, once again, you don't have to choose. You don't have to second guess the people that are teaching you, but also you don't have to chase the people who are teaching you. Some classes you never get to talk to the teacher. You never, you know, can ask a question. But I think the great thing that I enjoy about the Collegium is we don't come from the place of ego. If you have a question or you disagree, okay, well, tell us what it is. Like, let's explain to you why we do the things that we do. Or, you know, it can go here and here in so many different ways. So we're not coming from a place of ego, whereas many people, let's be honest, they do.
You're gonna get what you see. If you were to meet Sherwin in the street, you're gonna get that Sherwin.
Yeah.
If with Alyssa, you're gonna get, and if you teach, I mean, literally, what you see is what you get. There is no egos. The same personalities that we have on our lives, on our perspective pages, you're gonna get with the Collegium, and I think that's really, it's gonna be different. I feel like it's gonna be different.
It's from things that I've seen. It's more personable. It's more authentic. I want authentic people, which I know a lot of people ask, like, huh?
I love the fact that this is not just a weekend deal. This is a whole month. Every month, all month long. It's not just one weekend. There you go. This time, boom, you're done. No, we're going to be there all month for you, month after month after month after month.
And we're going to teach you. We're going to explain it to you. We're not going to judge you, say that's a crazy question, like, how could you think this way? Because at least from my perspective, there is no true wrong or right way to practice. Your practice is your practice. Your journey is your journey. And what I've discovered is people who tell you that that is not the case are limiting a lot of people from their full potential.
That's true. Now, Sherwin might call y'all crazy.
Yeah, Sherwin may say,
Sherman might call you crazy, but he's still gonna teach you, y'all. Don't. It's the personality, and it's funny as hell because he'll even do it to me. Like, what? What are you talking about?
Like, oh, that's what we're doing now?
But I think I like the way that you hit on it because I'm the same way too. I think when you're dealing with spirit, there is no crazy. There's no crazy answer. I've seen so much in 52 years that literally, if I was closed off to it early on, I've come to the conclusion that if this exists, then this other stuff can exist too.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the idea that we have a lot of different ways to go with it, whether you're into the angels or the demons or shamanism or witchcraft, balancing yourself, whatever it is, even with the voodoo.
Yeah.
I
And
think
also showing that all these different walks of life and traditions and things, how we still all work together. We don't say, oh no, don't do witchcraft. Oh no, don't do voodoo. We're like, hey, Tanya's
yeah,
class is so and so. Shishi's class is coming up next. You know,
Learn
yeah.
tarot. Yep, all of it. And
say,
that's
oh, it's my way and that's the only way there is. It shows that we can all work together and still love everybody no matter what walk of life they have.
I think my other thing is, what I learned, and it was like a year or so ago, Tanya and I had a conversation, and we were saying how, like, when you're in voodoo, you can't attack someone in your house with voodoo, but you can attack them with something else. So then I was like, well, what if you don't know something else? Then you're
Yeah.
stuck, you know? And the
It's
last
true.
thing that you want to be is stuck and not being able to protect yourself.
I think, and of course, you hit right on the head with it. When you're an eclectic practitioner, even in the voodoo, you have voodoo songs that do other things. If you consider yourself a witch, you may have a witch that completely, her ancestry may lead her into something else. Like, you never know in the spiritual what is underneath that surface. Just because you think that this person, like Candelo was saying, Tata Candelo was talking about, everybody was doing a candle, not candle, jars.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's working a jar candle on me. Well, yeah, you can do that, but you're gonna have somebody else that comes back in with a completely different magic or that may completely obliterate whatever it is that you're doing. So I think it's great to be introduced to different traditions because in the spiritual, you need all the protection that you can get. And of course, if the knowledge is there, why not?
Right. It's like the Collegium is a whole arsenal. You have a
Right.
whole arsenal,
Mhm.
right there.
I want it to be like a library where you can go and you can touch bases with so many, different mindsets. But then also my big thing was, you know, everybody in the Collegium is pretty much my friend, and it was interesting to see how many different friends you can have from different walks of life and still get along
Mm-hmm.
and still
Yeah.
work together. And that's something else I wanted to bring in. Like, you can work with many different people and it doesn't have to be combative. You don't have to do the same thing as
Yeah.
someone else and it still be okay.
Exactly.
I think in
Yeah.
the spiritual community, and that's a good point. In the spiritual community, you rarely see that because you tend to see people that start off with that energy and then the egos get involved. And then before you know it, you're in spiritual battles. I will say that we have to be realistic, you guys. We're human. Not everybody is going to always agree. But I will say that the basic respect that we have for each other, and then I think because we all love Shishi, this
I
is
love
her
y'all.
baby. Yeah, this is her baby. For her to succeed means that I need to do as a friend what I said I am gonna do. Because it's important not only for me, but it's important for her. You don't want to let her down. So I think you're gonna see a lot of growth, even with us, as we move forward because we're opening ourselves up too as workers and practitioners that are learning how to keep integrating with each other and growing our practices and our businesses. So it's I think really it's a learning thing on both sides. I'm looking forward to it.
I know I'm going to grow a lot. I'm learning. I mean, and I take it, as you guys know, I take it so heavy and so seriously. And I want, for me, I'm like, I want to bring whatever I have to bring to make sure that you guys succeed and that you guys have the best, opportunities, all of this. And so for me, I look at it from a friendship standpoint of view, because I'm like, I don't want to let you guys down. I don't want to disappoint you guys. Like, how are we going to bring this to the table? Which is why, like, even though it's my baby, I'm like, okay, but we're a team. What are your ideas? I have to be open. I have to be fluid. And so, just like what we told the students, all of us actually, when people were watching our interviews on the Collegium, come in ready to be fluid. Come in ready to learn. Just like we're coming in ready to learn, to teach, and also to be fluid. Because we're going to be learning from each other. I mean, the likelihood of us not watching the other person's class is extremely slim. I'm like, I want to know.
I'm watching classes. I'm creeping in. I know I'm creeping in.
Oh, for sure. But even in our own classes, as the professors, you have a student that comes in and they're going to say, oh, well, how do you do this? Or what if you get this in a reading? Or what if a client asks this? Or what? And you're like, and it could be the most simplest thing, but we've done it so long that we kind of forgot about this little stuff here. And so it's like, oh yeah, and it brings it back up. So we learn as well. And we learn because people ask questions, because they want to learn.
Well, you're challenged.
And sometimes, you're like, I tell people, like, well, I may not have the answer right now, but I'll figure it out.
Exactly.
Give me some time. I'll figure out that answer. And I think that's the fun part, because we don't know what everybody's thinking. So this will be something for us to grow and learn with too. Like, oh, well, we didn't even think about it that way. I think for me, when I was first teaching manifestation, I was nervous because, a lot of people have set spells that everyone seems to know these certain spells, but I write my own. So what do you do when you're like, this is the spell that works for me, and I write my own spell? So you can go about it this way. And that's been a question for a lot of people. How do you write your own spells? Well, you have to, it's like science class writing your spell. You're going to do it, you're going to practice your spell, and then if it doesn't work, then you have to alter it until you get it just right. And that's the fun part about spellcraft, which is also a part of witchcraft.
Right. Or you could say, well, do you want to write my own spell? Is it going to be on a Kindle? Is it going to be a petition paper? Is it going to be flying petition paper? Or is it going to be a jar? What kind of spell you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, like, what is what you're trying to accomplish?
Right.
And some people are like, okay, well, what do you do with your puppets? I mean, there's so many different things, but I know when I'm trying to, like, maybe mess somebody up, I stuff it with ground beef or something, or like gizzards. Then I bury it and let it get eaten. So I'm like, I want them to be hurt from the inside out, like Mac is eating meat, It's almost like, that is really weird. I was like, but it's a spell, and it works.
It works for you. I think people will learn, even with this, is that your growth is individual. You can have 5 people that sit in on a class and end up doing completely different things with the information that they learn in that class. And I think, if anything, I want, and I'm pretty sure the rest of you want too, is that we want people to come in and say, look, I have this knowledge. Now let me expand on it. Let me see what I can do with it. Because we never stop learning. Never stop learning. I'm 52 and I'm still reading books, and I'm still picking up mentors, and I'm still trying to grow with things. It's never ending. And I think this opportunity is going to give a lot of people that opening that is going to help you pick a path if that's what you choose. But if you want to do a little bit of everything too, you got everything right there. We were talking in a meeting, and I know I'm kind of just throwing it out there because we hadn't finalized anything yet, but some people were talking about the cost of it. And we kind of brought up that maybe even getting some type of installment plans to help pay, especially right now.
I'm definitely open to that, because you're right. Of this, due to the situation, it's hard to just maybe say, okay, we're just going to shell this out right now and it'll be good. I want people who want to be able to take it. I don't want it to be limited by, oh, we may not have all of it right now. And that, that was a tough thing to play with, because, it's been a hit or miss in so many different things that maybe each of us has tried, where you're like, the person kind of forgot about me.
Yeah.
things like that. And that was something that I think we definitely want to discuss, because it involves all of us. It's not just mine or yours. I need to make sure everyone is, taken care of for the supplies and things that they are purchasing for the class or doing, bringing in for the class. But then not only that, I think to allow flexibility for people, that we are going to do that. I want to be flexible with it.
Now, if somebody does want to go ahead and say, okay, the classes don't start until January, but they're thinking that, okay, maybe 275 is a little much. So can we start our payments now, 3 months earlier? How would they go about contacting you? Would you want them to contact you through the Collegium page on Facebook, or?
They can, yes. I mean, I have to remind people I do have a regular job. So unfortunately, I don't just sit there on Facebook all day. But yeah, reach out to us via the Collegium and we'll set that up for you. That's not a problem at all. I know some people are like, are you going to drop the price lower? And my answer to that is no. For all the information, knowledge.
Honestly, I think the price is more than fair, because you think about all these people, like I was saying in the meeting, is they pay $350 to go spend 2 days with, say, five people. We have what, 6, 7 professors. So they pay $350 to go spend 2 days with five teachers, and then they're done with it. Where here we have 7 and it lasts a month. No hotel fees, no fast food, no gas to get to where you gotta go. Just turn on the computer. And so it's honestly a hell of a deal, in my opinion.
It's true. And here it is. I never like to tell people to do with their money, because everybody's an adult. But I will tell you, if you want it, you will make it happen. I had to have almost $8,000 to initiate, and I had 6 months to come up with $8,000. Now, of course, I literally did everything but turn tricks on the corner. And I was even thinking about that too. I was like, I got some WAP. I got that WA.
I know you were thinking about it. I was like, do not slide on that corner. Your street's too small.
I was up there looking. I mean, I got so delirious. I was looking at stripper heels, and I'm sharing, and we're laughing about this, guys. But literally,
she was ready for it.
Anybody who's ever gone to college or had an opportunity to do something that is going to open up more opportunity, it's sacrifice. It is. It's sacrifice. But sitting here now, would I do it again for the payout that I got? Yes, I would. I would do it again. So I think when it comes to cost, and like I said, I don't ever tell people to do with their money. If you do practice, start your manifestation work, like Shishi was saying. Start your money work. Talk to your ancestors. If they really want you to do this, trust me, they will open doors that you didn't even think were open. I mean, I'm telling you, my ancestors, they wouldn't let me stand on the corner. They drew the line at that.
But she was trying it. She was like,
I was trying it. I was like, shit. But they were like, no, we're going to make you go do extra massages and some other things. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. But I think if it's really worth it for you, pray to your ancestors. Do your manifestation work. Do your money work. If you need to talk to Shishi, go ahead. Definitely step out. Sometimes, like Lynna said, it literally is giving up Starbucks and little things like that we can do without, because we're trying to do something more. It just depends where you're at on this, you guys. It really is. But don't let things that I know, especially with the pandemic, try not to let things hold you back that may open up doors for you later. Divine on it. Talk to your ancestors, get readings on it and see where you're at with it. Because shit, Lynna, I was crying to you the whole time too.
Oh yeah, I know.
I was going to work crying.
But at least you were going to work.
And you kept going, it's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth it.
Investment. It's an investment. Invest in yourself.
I
Yeah.
know. I could hear her voice with that too. It'll be fine.
She's like a little angel. It's gonna be okay.
You're oh my God, how is this gonna work?
Yeah. She even pulled cards for me. She's like, yeah, you got the money's gonna come. And I'm like, where? Where?
Don't worry
You're up
about
here like, do I need to torch the house? What do I need to pull up?
Oh my God. Do we have questions? Because I see four.
Yeah.
I don't see them on my side. Do you have any questions? We got any questions?
I know we were also talking about like doing mini lessons at the Collegium, like small ones to let you guys know what we're bringing to the table. So that'll be interesting. And a red table talk every once in a blue moon for people to bring their witchy questions and we can talk about it, you know?
Yeah. We need to.
Someone saying that they really would like to do candle. I mean, not candle. Duh. Crystal magic. So is that one of the things that Alyssa's going to be doing? I mean, I know she's doing with the chakras, and crystals have to do with chakras. There's no telling what Alyssa's going to do.
Honestly,
She can do everything.
She can do so much.
She got the Mary Poppins bag.
I know. She's like, and here. I think, you know, like each semester we break it down. It's like building on top of the other. And that's what, you know, I think a lot of people need to understand. It's just like when you go to any college. You start with the first semester and then you build on top of it as the semesters go along. There's no way to squish everything in just 5 months.
Oh yeah, it'd be too much.
It's impossible.
I do feel like though that there'll be crystals come up in more than one.
Oh yeah, there will definitely be crystals coming up because there'll be crystal grids for, you know, different healing purposes. Crystals do so much. I'm an herb girl. So I love my herbs. So I know that's what's coming in for me.
Nika says she's sneaking on. She's
Water,
not feeling well.
It's not beer. Just so you know.
I got beer.
I was gonna say I don't see anything. Nika, I hope you feel better, babe. I hope you feel better.
I've been so MIA. I haven't even gotten to speak with like Nika or anybody. I'm like, I've just been at work and it's been so crazy busy. So, let me see. Does anyone have questions? I want Nika to get better too. I know she said she was. I can't remember with stomach ache or so, but not feeling so great. Drink baking soda and water. Everybody's like, don't do that, but do that.
Oh, it'll clean her out.
I mean, either it's gonna make you vomit or it's gonna calm your stomach down. But either which way, one of those two things is gonna happen. If it's your stomach. Look, Lynna's like, what? Baking soda and water? It's open.
I'm thinking, is that like Alka-Seltzer?
No, I don't know what it is about it. It just kind of like
it coats your stomach. It does coat your stomach. But it depends on if you have a lot of acid in there too, because it could make you throw up. But I mean, either way, like you say, she'll end up feeling better.
Something's coming out, but you have to.
It's coming out one way or the other.
You drink a small cup, so not a big cup, and you put like a tablespoon of baking soda in there, and you put water in there. Don't choose cold water because then you'll be like, ugh, and don't choose hot water because you have to choose that right room temperature water. But you have to drink it quickly. You can't sip on it. But you're not gulping it like a shot, but you have to drink it pretty steady like, and then it just, either you're going to throw up or it's going to make your stomach calm down. But one way or the other, or you might shark. But one way or the other, it's coming out.
He's lighting candles for success for this, so thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate that. She's like, I'm totally about to do this. I mean, I'm just telling you, be prepared. One way or the other. That's like so, I don't know, that's so old school. That's something my grandma like, drink baking soda and water. And I'm like, I don't know how they figured out that works.
My grandma.
But you know, that's where traditions come from.
Hot toddies. She did hot toddies for everything. I think she wanted to just give us kids whiskey and knock us out so she didn't have to deal with us.
Oh, I live for hot toddies. I live. Now, that is one thing that I will drink, and it knocks everything out.
Yeah.
I had my first hot toddy this year.
Oh,
really?
I was probably kindergarten, maybe 4 years old, 3 years old. But anytime you got sick, it was a hot toddy. You always got a hot toddy. You drink your hot toddy and go to bed.
How did that work
Absolutely.
if it was a stomach ache though? Because I figured that would make it worse.
Because you've got the wild turkey. Mama always used wild turkey. So it was wild turkey, honey, lemon, and a peppermint stick. So
But
The
that
it's
sounds like
alcohol
it
would
would just
the
be.
alcohol would put you to sleep, and the peppermint would soothe your stomach.
mhm.
I feel like
And
that
the
that
honey
should just be
would
a
coat
drink.
your throat. And lemon is vitamin C. So it's got everything.
I feel like it should just be a drink. They'd be like, "Would you like your hot toddy today, $9.99?"
Hey, it could be. I put rum in mine, and I'm like you. Every now and then, if I get like a headache, okay, hot toddy, let's just drink it up. So it could be. It makes me sleep. Like that night on Tipsy Tarot, I was like out. I was like, yes.
That was so
That's what
funny.
I'm saying. I'm wondering if Mama wasn't just trying to knock us out so she didn't have to deal with us.
Oh shit! The same they used to put Tylenol in the baby bottles to put them to sleep.
Or Robitussin.
I
Yeah,
when babies are teething, put whiskey on their gums.
yeah, tequila too.
See, my friend, her little baby, I would dip it in my red wine, her pacifier, and she just run around the house. And I loved it. I personally thought it was great. But she was not too happy.
Wait
But
till you have your own. Wait, and then do it and tell me, tell me
you
how
know
you.
what, Ollie has whiskey, so I'd be like, you know what, let's see how this works. He's gonna be like, ah.
The bottles and carry it around with you. Oh,
I know.
okay, here you go.
No, we can't. He's very adamant. No drinking during the pregnancy or during the breastfeeding.
No, we're not talking about you. We're talking about for the baby when the baby starts.
He's gonna be like, no, you're gonna have my baby looking like Quasimodo. No. He's like, something's gonna happen.
Look, and then we're gonna raise it Catholic. So when it's in second grade, it's gonna start drinking the blood. Okay.
Oh my God, no. He hates the Catholic Church. He's like, don't even get me in love. No.
That reminds me
Yeah,
when
we gotta let Ollie be. We can't have her go down there and Ollie be like, okay, what the hell?
when Walker was doing
Hell.
his first communion, he was in second grade. He had just turned 8 years old, and I remember going and they would go like every couple of days. They'd go over to the church, and Father Howard would talk to him. Well, this time was like the last talk, like the last run through before they actually did their first communion. And he was talking to them and saying, okay, you guys got this, don't be nervous, and blah blah blah. And he says, what's the best thing about first communion? And some little kid screams out, the blood.
That wine, sipping on that wine.
Oh my God, that would be me. I was Catholic, I'm like, the blood. But it's
And
true,
see, I used to just eat the wafers. I didn't even mess with the wine. I would just go in there and eat the wafers.
well, I didn't get the wine. I got the grape juice, but I liked the wafer. I like the wafers too. I was like, and I was like, how do I get these little wafers so I have them at home so I could just like be popping like the body of Christ all the time? Because I don't know, I liked the way they tasted.
I get the body, but I don't get the blood because I'm not drinking out that cup with everybody else got their mouth on it.
Oh yeah, no. Especially now, like you can't do that anymore. You better have your own separate little cup.
Shoot, some churches don't even, you have to make reservations to go in and get holy water now. You can't even just go in. I'm like, what the hell? But of course, we're living in a different time.
Yeah.
We are. It's kind of like sad. I was like listening to a book and they were talking about running outside. I was like, oh, I feel like those days are gone. Like
you can make your own holy water, and I'm sure somebody like an eclectic witch named the Calico Goddess might teach people how to do that in her class.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can bless your own water and everything, but I like going to different churches. I like, I like the mixture and all that. But that's just, like you say, it's a preference. But I'm sure in the classes, like you're right, Shishi, Sherwin might even have that in the class.
I think Sherwin would probably be better at teaching holy water.
Oh Lord, that'll be by the time he get through praying and rocking and bringing in Kashiba and the leap. I mean, my God, that would be.
During the
we need to do a live with him making holy water, y'all. That would be hilarious.
You know what? And I would be so horrible because I know you have to put so much work. I mean, to me, I'm like, you have to put work into it. I'd be like, so Sharon, now that you're done, you made a big jar. Can you send me something? Like, can you send me that? Now that you're done, you're like, can you send me a bottle?
Oh my God, yes.
He would do it just to spite me. No.
Yes, he would. Yes, he would, because he loves you.
99 plus shipping.
I know. He would. I'd be like, oh.
For a little one.
I know. Or he'd give me like one of those little oil testers. He'd be like, here you are. Use it sparingly.
You want 1 or 2 drams.
I know. That's what it would be. I'm like, oh my God.
To be petty. That's a Libra. Just to be petty. He would do that.
He would be petty. He'd be like, yeah, I'll send you some.
I've seen people put Florida water in a 2-dram bottle.
To sell?
Yeah. I'm like, really? Do they know what Walmart is?
No. That's crazy. And sell it for how much?
I don't even know.
A bottle of Florida water you can get for like $3.29.
Ooh.
Depending on where you're at.
My bottle of Florida water costs $9.
Oh no.
No. It's $9.
Where do you buy it?
At the stores here, they're like $9.
You gotta
hell no.
And then like let me see, the big ones, I don't know if that was price. This one's $16.
No. Girl, I wish I would have known that, because I mean there's a place I think it's $3.29.
Well, see, I want to make my own. Oh, look, she's like, they have them for $4 at Walmart's there. Some Walmart's. No.
Yeah. Walmart, CVS is selling them now, so it's a lot of places that are selling them. But I mean, I'm like you.
What do they have? What's over there? I don't even know what's in your area.
Oh, look, Rob gave the formation for the holy water. All I do is just bless mine in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
You got that half holy water.
I got it like that.
Half holy water.
I got it like that. Like I said, Jesus is my homeboy.
I want to make my own Florida water, to be honest with you. I know it takes a lot of time, but I'm like, I want to make my own. So then I feel comfortable about it.
It does smell better. A lot of people that make their own, it definitely, the smell is, the fragrance is a lot different. And I like it though.
I think it's because they put more citrus in there. I know Azabeth makes her own Florida water.
Some put more citrus, some put more rose petals. It depends on, I guess, how you're making it. But I mean, it's yours. It goes back to the Collegium. You get the foundation and then you get to turn it into whatever you want to do with it.
That's true.
Yeah.
I feel like, we could be teaching more Florida water, holy water, all that. But I will probably leave the holy water to Sharon just because I'm like, let me just watch it.
Well, he would probably, if it was part of his curriculum, he would jump on it. It would be hilarious. I would show up just to watch. I know,
I'd be like, because I'm Team Petty, and I'd be like,
because he's going to be with his dashiki on, and he's going to be in there.
Doing his thing. Like, don't disturb him either. Don't say something wrong. He'd be like, you definitely going to die after this live.
Yeah, when he give you that smile and then his eyes kind of go dead, you already know. You're going to get, there's something you're going to get. There's something you're going to get. I know my brother. My brother. God.
That's funny. But I can't help it. I pick on Sherwin like he's a baby brother, so it doesn't even matter. I don't even mean to. But sometimes he starts to be like, it's your fault. Like, what?
No, it's always him. It's always him. From the messages that I see, it's always him jump starting something. And then just, going left too. He'll take it off. What was that video? I can't even talk about the clapping video that he sent you.
The T-Pain booty work or something? I'm only laughing because I have that song. Well, I told him he listens to nothing but booty music. He's like, because I guess his music went off when we were in the meeting, and I was like, that sounds like booty music there, Sherwin. He listens to some booty music.
And he had to correct you by sending you what he thought it was.
No.
That's the Libra, just petty.
I'm like, how does that work? Like, Aquarius and Libra will sit there and argue or pick on each other all day, and I'm like, I just gotta go to bed, but I don't want to go to bed because you can't get the last word.
Air signs. We can't never let another air sign get the last word. That's like defeat. We can't do that.
There with my one eye open, like.
Just in case.
Like at this point, I can't spell words, so we're just gonna send the memes and the gifs and the stickers. Like that's what we're gonna do. But I'm not going down without a fight.
Fall asleep, wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, send another one just so you can have the last word.
No, alarm going off.
That's a good way to do it. Oh my goodness, you guys, I gotta bounce because they're ready for dinner. But I wanted to be here and talk and support, but I love you guys.
I appreciate it. Sorry, we went a little off there, but
They
No,
are
no,
asking about, we don't have a website up yet for the Collegium. However, if you do a search on Facebook, you can find Collegium of the Arcane Studies. And so you can find it there. So,
I have to change up our website, right? When I was ready to post, there were changes.
yeah.
it always happens, but that's okay. We're flexible. We're flexible.
Yeah, we're flexible.
You two don't have to end the talk because I'm bouncing off.
Oh,
So
she looks like she's ready to go. Do her
No,
thing.
I'm fine either way. I am fine either way. If people have questions, I want to answer the questions. I just got
yeah.
home and put away my groceries because I'm doing that delivery thing
Oh,
for Imperfect Foods and Misfits Market. I just tried it and I like it a lot. So
oh.
they sent some nice
I love you
organic
guys.
vegetables. Love you. Tell Jazz hi. I'm happy that she was able to get her statistics out.
Oh
Trying to
God.
get my cousins.
Look, wait a minute. I gotta take the mask off. I'm not even taking to statistic, and it's driving me crazy. She just looks at me and goes, "Mama, help me with this problem." And I look at it, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this thing is. What's going on? What are we doing?
If she sent me a problem, I can look. I think I still have my statistics book.
I will let her know. Thank you.
But I'm not like the best. That's why I tried to get my cousin involved because he great at statistics and anything with numbers and probabilities.
I will. She'll be so happy. Mwah. Bye.
So, do you guys have any more questions or?
Yeah. Well, I want to ask you, Lynna, what are you excited about with the Collegium?
Well, everything. Well, like I was saying, because the one thing is that we're also different, but we get along, because I see this all the time. Baptists don't like the Catholics don't like the Mormons don't like the whoever, and they don't like whoever, and it's like, but damn, aren't you all Christians? And you can't even get along in Christianity. And then you have, the Gardnerians don't like the Black Forest, and Strega is so far out there and nobody knows, and nobody really does a fairy tradition, and they always incorporate it with somebody else. And if you're doing eclectic, then you're not really doing real witchcraft. And it's like bullshit. It's like, why can't we all do our own path and do our own thing and share with each other and learn off of each other and still get along? Because what works for you doesn't have to work for me. All it has to do is work for you. What I do only has to work for me. And we can still love each other and get along.
I think that was one of the biggest reasons I did like want to move forward with the Collegium, is because certain things just didn't work for me, or it could be certain teachers or mentors weren't working for me. I just didn't connect. And, I feel like a lot of people, when they're like, oh, if you don't connect with this very popular teacher or mentor, then something's wrong with you. You're just not grasping it. And that's not the case. You may just see something different that other people can't see. I feel like a lot of the time there's a lot of hype around certain things. And so you get a lot of the hype, but you may not get the knowledge, if that makes sense.
Right. And another thing that really is intriguing to me is, okay, so you pay this monthly fee for monthly tuition, for the school. If you don't like me in the way that I teach, don't come to my class. You haven't wasted any money, because you can still go to all the other classes. You don't have to like me. You don't have to take all the classes if you don't want to. You're more than welcome, but you don't have to. And so it gives people options,
Right.
And like I was saying, you don't have to rent an Airbnb. You don't have to. I have spent going to events. Girl, just going to Portland cost me probably $2,500.
Was that the tarot meet thing?
Mm-hmm.
Or the?
But I drove. I bought airline tickets. For Tonya and my daughter to fly up there, because my daughter wanted to. She didn't. It was almost spring break, but I needed to take products, so I needed to leave earlier than what she got out of school. So Tonya stayed behind and flew out with my daughter. So I drove there, I drove back, I paid for airline tickets, I paid for Airbnb, I paid for food, I paid for gas. I mean, the shit adds up real fast.
It does.
And that was for 2 days. Wow. So that's what I was saying, is you're getting a hell of a deal. I mean, honestly, people will say, oh, that's a lot of money, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. But you're getting a whole month and you don't have to pay all those extra things. If you want something to eat in the middle of class, go get a bag of chips. I don't care if you eat chips, and as long as you listen or pretend like you do. You can put me on mute and just sit there and look and be like, okay, and not hear a word to say. I don't, it's up to you.
I think that's the other thing too, is like a lot of classes I looked at, I was like, they're $350, but they're only 3 days.
Right.
And you're only getting 3 hours. Mm-hmm. So 9 hours for $350, and that's a lot. And what happens if you don't like the class? There's no other option. You can't hop. You're, like you said, to another teacher and say, at least I get something out of this class. If you think about it, even if you were to just take 5 classes with one teacher, or like even if you 2 teachers, 3 teachers, you're getting your money's worth.
Oh, definitely.
And I think that's, a lot of people who may have not taken classes or looked at the cost of classes, they don't realize that.
And these are not recorded classes. We're live. We're here for people. They have questions. We answer the questions right then. Or like you said, if we don't know, we find out. And next time we come around, or email them, or, I'm sure we'll take care of our students. That, there's no doubt we'll take care.
What we were going to go with is it was going to be recorded in the Facebook group, a specific Facebook
group. If they can't make it live. But if they can't make it live for the class, they're absolutely can ask questions and find answers right then and there. But like you said, if they are at work or wherever, they can come back and do it in the private group,
which is great too.
Absolutely.
I think because there's some online classes you have to be there, and if you're not there, you don't get to go back and watch. It's done. Either you're there at that time or not, and it is what it is. But I think also the plus side about it is it's worth the money, and you're learning many things, not just one thing. And like we all, we mentioned, we're passionate about it. We want to teach you as much as possible, and this is not a weekend thing. When you're like, okay, we did semester 1, we want to add up more, to our knowledge. Then you go to semester 2. That's cool. Right. You're going to be building blocks, and that's what we want. We don't want to teach you a little bit of something and leave you out there in the lurch and be like, maybe you can learn from this other teacher. No, we're all the way through.
When you asked if I wanted to teach tarot, I got really excited to be able to do the Tarot de Marseille, because not a lot of people use the Tarot de Marseille. Look, I'm not being interviewed right now, but maybe a little short something. You asked me what I was excited about, so
you talk, please.
So people were like, well, I don't read the Tarot de Marseille. Well, but if this is the beginning of the school, we need to start at the beginning and build off of that. If you look at it, the Rider Waite didn't come out till 1908, wasn't printed until 1909. Okay, Tarot de Marseille is back in the 1400s.
It's a beautiful deck. I have mine.
I have a deck from 1753.
I don't have a deck from 1753.
Well, it's a reprint of a deck from 1753, not gonna lie. But
I have this one, this Tarot de Marseille.
And what year is that?
This one is, I believe this was the 70s, like 1970.
But what is it? It's a reprint of what year?
Let me see.
Because even the way they made the tarot cards were different back then. So I want to start with some history and go over. There's so many things. There's the patterns. There's all kinds of things in tarot. I'm just excited about it.
I know. I like the Tarot de Marseille. It's not telling me which is the reprint of this.
I feel like even if that's not something that they read with, that's something else they can add to their toolbox.
This is a 1969 deck, so I'm assuming that it is, well, I don't want to assume, let me see. It doesn't say what the reprint is.
Mm. Is it like a Jardel, or do you know?
A Grimmaud?
Grimmaud?
It says J.M. Simon in the back. I'm like, I don't know. I just remember liking it. I was like, I want this specific deck.
Yeah, they make many different kinds. Some have a picture on the devil card. Some have a picture on the belly. Some don't. Some on the lover's card have a blindfold over the Cupid's eyes. Some don't. It depends on who made the deck and also where the deck was made. Was it made in Italy? Because Marseille was actually.
This is France. This one was made in France.
Yeah, that they were printed in the city of Marseille in France. Mm-hmm. And that's why they're called Tarot de Marseille, is because that's where they were printed. Because, back in the day, they had the, look, I'm teaching a class, oh shit.
Well, this one says it gives the street, Pierre de whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
That's all I got. But I remember, like, I really want this deck. But I like it. I like the colors more than the Rider-Waite.
I like the CBD. Yeah, those are clear. That's the way the CBD is. The CBD is very clear.
Yeah,
oil. I'm talking about Convert Bendove.
Yeah, like not the oil, but I just like the colors of them.
Yeah.
Nika, the monthly fee is $275.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do installment plans too. So
yeah, but the longer you wait, if you go ahead and start your installment plans now, it stretches out further, so your payments will be smaller. But if you wait next month or the month after, that's going to make them larger and larger. Yeah, see, like this Queen of Wands. Can you see it?
Oh yeah, see, that's nice. I'm like, where's my Queen of Wands? I don't have my Queen of Wands here.
Oh, I just picked a card.
This is one of my favorites.
And see, here's the Lovers. Oh yeah, the Seven of Swords.
I love that.
In this Lovers, this Cupid doesn't have a blindfold.
Well, I wonder if my Cupid has a blindfold. Now I'm going to go through and look at it and be like, does my Cupid have a blindfold?
Some of them do. And my Devil doesn't have a face on his belly either. But there are some decks where the Devil has the face on the belly.
Really? See, now I have to go through and be like, which one is it? So if it has a face on the belly, does it mean it's what deck doesn't mean it's the reprint of?
Well, there was, when was it? Oh my God. I think it was like the 1740s, anything before the 1740s. Most of them had the devil on the belly. But Alejandro Jodorowsky, he did not have face on his devil's belly.
See, now I have to be like, I want to find the devil and see if there's a face on the belly.
Yeah, mine doesn't.
I think learning the Tarot de Marseille will be a nice change of pace as well, because like I said, if you don't connect with the Rider-Waite.
Yeah, and this has a lot of geomancy, and it goes a lot on the patterns. You throw in numerology, and I mean, and they do have meanings, and they have specific meanings, but they're not the same as the Rider-Waite. And a lot of it, see, my devil does not have a face on the belly.
Yeah, I'm like, where's the face on the belly? My Cupid doesn't have a blindfold.
Okay. So your devil may not have a thing on his belly either.
He does not. He doesn't have a thing on his belly.
Okay. And you can clearly see how he's hermaphrodite.
Yeah, he has penis and boobs.
Mm-hmm.
That's very neat. But then it's like the two little devils on the side. One is a woman and one is a guy. Or one is female and one is male.
Right. And like say if like I was saying, if they have specific meanings, and and they're different from Rider-Waite, because they I'm trying to think. Eight of coins. What would you say eight of coins was?
For which deck?
Just from Rider-Waite, because that's what most people think of.
I didn't connect with the Rider-Waite, so I can't go by that.
Okay.
My first deck was Manga Tarot.
So what would the eight of coins be?
Eight of coins in my Manga Tarot.
I know it's like, where's the card? Where's the card?
I know. I'm trying to think of it in my head. I'm like, I'm going through like the Witch's Tarot, everything. I'm like, oh my god. For me, the eight of coins. I pull out as like prosperity and nature magic, I believe. I'm like, am I in the right deck? Hold on. I don't even have it here with me. I'm like, holy crap. And then I'm going through my Lightweaver's Tarot. I'm like, oh my god. I feel so bad. I'm like, let me get my image here. I'm like trying to find my image of it. Because I have 3 different ones. I'm like, am I thinking of the 9? Okay, why? What do you have for Tarot de Marseille? Let me find my card.
It would be like regulation, like a conveyor belt, doing the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's not what I have for my... You said the eight of coins, right?
Right.
Oh, okay.
So that would be like the specific meaning regulation.
Oh, yeah, no. Yes.
But see, then, okay, so it means work.
Yeah.
What to, yeah. So it's kind of the same, but if you continue working, doing things in a certain way. So it's kind of the same, but it's different. But let's say...
She said Linda the same for Rider-Waite. Wait, let me see what Linda's comment was, because we have the Q&A here.
I think she's talking to me and it just auto-corrected.
A repetitive task, mastery of that task. But depending also what you apply it with, because sometimes, like when I pull that card, because I've listened to my guides, when I pull that card in this deck, for some people it comes up as they're really too caught on the end outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And not the journey, so to say. Like they're only thinking about how much they can get out of it. Because when I get that card, you see the person polishing the pentacles. They're thinking about their gold, their money. Kind of like the 4 of coins. It can mean like, okay, you're so caught up on the money and sometimes you're working so hard you can't enjoy it. Like in one of my decks with the 4 of coins and like my manga deck, it means like continue to work or, you know, I mean, and then the Sabbath Tarot and my Witch's Insurrection, they mean different things. And so I'm like,
yeah, and like the 2 of Swords, you know, in a Tarot de Marseille, it's like you're boxed in, but you still have room to grow.
In my deck, the 2 of Swords means your mind and your heart are not aligned.
Yeah, see, and it's
you're off balance.
But then there are also times that you do read the patterns, and you also use intuition. If you say, when is my ex going to, or are me and my ex going to get back together? And
the Sword's like, nope.
And I pull this, what do you think I'm going to say? No. Nope. Big red. You know, so there's many ways to read them, and the history behind them. I love it. I get all into that.
I think that's what I look forward to about teaching witchcraft. Is like the teaching that, you know, you can turn your craft into your own. A lot of people think you can't turn your craft into your own, but you can.
Exactly, because you don't have to use numerology. Mm-hmm. You don't have to use patterns. You could only go on the you know, stable meanings of each card if you want. Or you can only go by patterns. You can only go by intuition. You can use numerology, you know, throw in some astrology in there too, you know.
Like the Ma'at Tarot for me. Like that's one of the toughest tarot decks for me to read because she has all these different moon cycles and astrology in it. I'm like, it's so overwhelming.
Yeah,
because her deck, her cards mean something different, and they're all like so informed. Like there's so much information for each of her cards, and then she's like, oh, and then you throw in the moon. in the astrology. You're like,
And don't forget, there are medical things for each card too. One card could stand for the liver, and another. I'm not a professional though. Please don't ask medical questions because I hate them. But I don't know if I'm gonna do. It probably would be the Rider-Waite next. I'll have to see. But right now, I'm gonna start at the beginning with the Tarot de Marseille and then just progress from there.
And the thing is, like, tarot, you can learn one tarot deck and take you 2 years, 3 years to get the full capacity of that one tarot deck. Because you can use it, like we were talking about, in so many different ways, but you can also use it in the craft for spell crafting.
Oh, yeah, you can do spells with cards. You take what is it, the two of cups or the 2 of hearts from a playing card deck. And because you have this guy that you want to be with, and you slide that bitch up underneath the seat of his truck, stick it in the springs so it won't fall down when they vacuum the car, you know? And that way he's on top of that card all the time. That card's with him. It's right there, you know? You put some oil on that card, you know? Put that card in your money lamp. You know, different cards you can put in your money lamp.
Like the what is it? The 7 or 10 7 pentacles, like hard work. Like all my cards are going into my brain. I'm like, what the hell?
Why would you want hard work for your money lamp?
Like all the work that you're putting in pays off.
Well, I think that's 8 of coins, right? Or 8 of pentacles.
No, we just looked at the 8 of pentacles. That's not the 8 of pentacles. It's the, I can tell you.
I know 7 is like an apprentice that's learning this craft and he's really doing it all the time, on and on and on. So the 7 may be more like the 8 of coins in Marseille. But the
7 of pentacles in the Witch's Tarot is reaping the benefits of all your hard work.
Okay, so the 8 of pentacles is where the guy is standing there in the garden and it's like his stuff is blossomed. So it's finally paid off.
That's the 7. The 8 of pentacles, at least in this deck that I'm using, the 8 of pentacles is like, that's the apprenticeship, but then somebody who's also looking at the end. There's so many.
I haven't used the Rider-Waite in a while. I'm kind of out of practice.
No.
No, definitely before, you know.
And for the 9 of pentacles and the
thing about tarot decks too is there's so many different ways to interpret them. Okay, the 8, he's working hard. Yeah.
See, for my 8, my 7, he's reaping the benefits. For my 8, it could be like looking at the end goal, but also apprenticeship. And 9, for me, of pentacles is green witchery, like paying attention to like earth magic and things like that. But then also like knowing that you're reaching success, but not to get so caught up and feel like you can't work anymore.
Right.
Look, Nika's like, I just want to skip to wish fulfillment. 10. And 10 of diamonds for Rob.
10 of diamonds, 10 of coins, you know. 10 of pentacles.
All of that.
I'm calling it coins.
The star card, the sun card, great for wishes, at least in this deck.
9 of cups.
I have
don't use 7 of cups for your wishes, because those are like
it'll be jumbled because you have many rooms. But what is it, like in one of my decks, you lay out the sun, the moon, and the empress, not the empress, you lay out the empress, the moon, and the high priestess for a spell.
Oh, is that for fertility?
Huh?
Is that a fertility spell?
No, well, it depends on how you want to use it and who you lay first, because the moon could be trying to connect with the dead or things that you can't see.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking with the empress, you know, that
would be fertility.
But the moon could also is the shape of the round belly, and then, you know, all kinds of things.
But the thing is, like in this deck, it's used as Hecate, so maiden mother crone.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So it depends on how you want to lay it out. So I mean, it's pretty. I think it's pretty interesting how each deck can be something different.
Yeah, and there's so much you can do with tarot. so much you can do with tarot.
Yeah, like my 7 of Pentacles is like hard work paying off, reaping the benefit of your awards.
You're
your
right.
rewards. Let me see.
Oh,
Somebody's texting me, but I can't see the messages.
I get cold, and so I always put my hoodie on. I didn't mean to do that on camera.
No, you're fine. Put your hoodie on.
So,
I can't see all the questions because it says question and answer.
So, oh, I think she was. Let me see. Oh, the Collegium of Arcane Studies. Let me actually, I will share it. I will pull up the page on Facebook and show it to you. So let me just pull it up here and then I'll do a share. Oh, we don't want O'Connell College Prep. The Collegium, okay.
I think, arcane studies are the studies of mysteries, and a lot of people put it with something negative.
Let me close.
And it's not.
And okay, let me share it, and I'll show you what the page looks like.
I love dream walking, Nika. Dream walking for me is fun. I don't know if he will. Oh yeah, screen sharing. I was like, what just happened?
Yeah, so can you see the page there? That's the page you're going to want to go to. It should have, I can't see because my thing's in the way. Yeah, can you see my mouse move? Right there under the name, the Collegium of Arcane Studies, it says at the Collegium of Arcane Studies, and that's what you would search for.
I need to be like more active on my page, but I will be. So, looking at my stats.
Yeah, and this is the logo up at the top, so make sure you're getting the right one. And it has a snake for the picture with the ruby eyes, because rubies are amazing, because that's, July. Okay.
It might be garnet. It could be garnet.
No, it's ruby. It's ruby.
You did not miss the official start date, Nika. The official start date will be in January, which is why we made some adjustments and we're allowing like payment, like installments and things like that, because a lot hit a lot of people, and some people lost their jobs. So
They're ours.
yeah, they lost a lot. And we all decided that we never want someone to be in a position of having to choose to learn or to choose to feed their family or eat themselves. Exactly. So that's not what we wanted.
And with this, you'll be able to open those gifts that Marcus was talking about. And you came in a little bit later, but we were talking about how you can learn from so many different things. You don't have to just take one class. You can take whichever class you want all month long.
I mean, all the classes.
Or don't pick one. It doesn't matter. Whatever.
You'll be learning. Sorry, go ahead.
Whatever works for you is what I was going to say.
You'll be learning the left-hand path. You can learn to conjure. You can learn traditional witchcraft with me. You learn your tarot in Marseille with Lynna. Conjure and root work with Tonya. Deities and root work with Sherwin. Defensive magics with Frank and how to protect yourself. So, and also he's going to be teaching magical ethics, which a lot of people don't teach. Now, this isn't saying there's rules, but there's certain things that we place in there or you might want to know about that could come back, and a lot of people don't think about it. They're like, well, just throw out and you're just trying to fuck with somebody's kid just to do it. Well, that comes back on you. The kid didn't do anything.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's something Tonya also talked about. Like, people were throwing at her, and then when they couldn't get to her, they went to her family. So, just a lot of different things like that.
Yeah. So, okay, and then what else we got here? Anything else? And then I'm going to go ahead and go to, because it's kind of 8:42. And I'm tired. Oh, yeah. I was up all day yesterday. I wanted it to storm so bad. I swear to God, I was going to live stream the lightning and the thunder, and then nothing.
I've been up since 6 this morning, so I understand. So, and I'm going to eat something and probably go to bed early.
Oh, I tried those pupusas. They're pretty good. I'd never heard of them before.
Did you like them? Which ones did you get?
I got the ones with chicken. They were good.
Yeah, I was like, they were a lot bigger than I remember, and I was like, I can't eat this like this anymore. It's too much.
But all right. We're going to post this on the Collegium page since we got to interview you.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
I'll be interviewed again. Because I'll be interviewing you guys too. So we'll be, getting Tonya, you, then myself again. So.
Right. We're going to be doing Tonya next week.
Yes. Tonya, well, as long as she's available, yeah, Tonya next week.
She should be, I think.
So I'm going to write her and then see what happens.
We moved it to 7, so that helped. Because at first we were doing it at 6 and there was a conflict, a scheduling conflict. But yeah.
Let me touch base with her again, but we have to get you in, her in, me in.
Hey, I just no.
Yeah, I know. You didn't do yours yet.
Okay.
So, and we'll get it all in, and then we'll start launching the mini lessons, and that'll be fun too.
All right. It sounds great to me. We'll see you guys later.
Be blessed. Bye.
Bye-bye.